Hey everybody, welcome to my podcast, Becoming Your Own VIP, Mind, Body, and Soul. I'm your host, Rebecca McCants, and let's get to it. So, yesterday I had made a voice recording because I was in a situation where I wasn't able to just start a podcast. So, I am going to start introducing some of these voice recordings because I recognize that to redo the message sometimes takes away the meaning of what that message has for someone at this time. And sometimes these messages are for me too. So when I speak to you, I'm also speaking to myself. But with this, today I'm doing a little bit different by bringing in a pre-recording message. And every so often I still may do this. But today will be the first time I will add this in. The other thing I wanted to do was mention that with this message, it's very much so in alignment with everything I talk about. But the biggest thing I wanted to mention was I've noticed a lot of people in separation between New Age and Christianity. And the thing for me is, no, I didn't go to church a lot growing up. But I know at the most darkest of times, certain things were introduced in my life, and those tools had aided me to become a better person, to be the person that you're listening to today. And yes, that is meditation. Yes, that is crystals. Yes, that is chakras. And, meditation and crystals are mentioned in the Bible. I still yet to understand where chakras are mentioned. I do know, however, your chakras are in connection to your soul. It is in connection to our body. It is in connection to what stores our past traumas energetically. And I know that is what clouds a lot of us, is the storage and holding on to those emotions and holding on to those energies. And when you heal physically, you heal mentally, and you heal spiritually. And a lot of those things, while we clear mentally and physically, it clears us spiritually without us even knowing. So is it a big deal for you to understand and know about chakras? No. But when you don't understand a piece that is missing within you, then you don't have the full story. And that full story was missing from my life for a very, very long time. And it wasn't until I added all of these things that, were guided to me, that were allowed into my life to aid me to heal, is where I'm now sharing this with you, where you can go ahead and take this information and what resonates and aid you along your journey. So with this being said, again, I know there may be a lot of mixed messages, even with people that may not be spiritual and believe in a higher power. I ask that you believe in yourself. I believe that if you know something is not right within you, that you take the measures in order to pull that love within yourself and to lift yourself up. And from there, everything else will speak for itself. So on this day, will be a new day of recordings, and let me know if you have any questions. All right, you guys take care. So chakras are connected to your body. Your body helps tell you where your energy is off. But if you don't know about your chakras and you don't know what energy is related to your body, then you don't know where you're off kilter. So if you're heartbroken and you have heart disease, you're treating the heart disease as the medicine, but not the energy to heal your heart. And if you're not confident, your personality reflects it. It's because your energy is off kilter and you didn't know that you need to focus on your solar plexus and gaining back your confidence. And these things can still be corrected if you just naturally said, you know what, I'm done being not confident. I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm going to go out and do things I've never done before, and I'm going to build my confidence that way. Great. You fixed the issue without you even noticing. You brought yourself into balance without you even knowing. But you feel high energy, your solar plexus. Now, I'm done grieving. I had enough. I'm going to choose to find love. So now you open your heart to love by healing the hurt before jumping into another relationship. And you go as deep as it needs to go to clean your wound until your heart doesn't hurt. Now your heart chakra is back in alignment. Your heart disease is no longer as prominent. You're still needing to maintain exercise and all these things because it's a whole body and energy thing. But then also, if you're in alignment with your physical and your emotional, then you're also in alignment with your soul, your spirit, without you having to even go to church, because you're already aligned with God, because God is within you. It's just if you're out of alignment, then you make unfortunate choices, such as not exercising, not eating correctly, making bad choices that are not in alignment with you, even though there might be an inkling that tells you something different. You're always a spiritual being based off the choices that we make, whether it's loving or not loving. And that means, again, choosing foods that are loving or not loving. That means choosing people or environments that's loving or not loving. That means noticing something within you that is not loving when it comes to your confidence or how you treat others or how you treat yourself. And once those things are corrected, you automatically bring yourself in alignment, whether you're religious or not. You become more open to being loving, happy, kind, which all that is love, all that is pure, all that is beauty. And you don't want anyone to take that from you. You won't let anyone take that from you because you have those boundaries. Look, I've worked hard for my confidence. I've worked hard for having this peaceful environment in my home, and I know who I'm going to invite in and who I'm not. Same as food, and same as watching things that you know that isn't good for you. You just know, and you're not going to invite that in. So these naturally kind of come into our chakras. When it comes to exercising, we're doing yoga poses without us even knowing. Planks, there's certain breathing exercises that we do brings us in alignment. Like I said, expelling energy. We just do it naturally. There's certain things our body does naturally that aligns us without us even knowing, because our body is programmed to know, to aid us. And again, it comes to your choice on whether you're going to be in the light or the dark, and how you choose to show up. And from the colors of the rainbow to the prism scale on the TV to the rainbow scale when you're doing color palettes to the foods we eat, they're all the basic colors of the rainbow, the same basic colors, which is your chakras that are within you. You're the light. And when those lights go dim, then you're the opposite. You're the dark aspect, because positive and negative exists within. You're to clean out the darkness, clear out the gunk in your pipes, and make your light shine bright. The rainbow is within you. The rainbow is all around you with what you eat, what you visually see. These colors stimulate and cleanse us in nature, in our own homes. When you paint your house, certain colors bring certain energies, and you think about those things on a deeper level that we never realized. So those who don't believe in chakras, I understand. That same as with spirituality, I understand. They just weren't either taught, or we had a negative experience or view and created that belief. Again, spirituality is not religion. It's within you. What is love and what is not? And your connection to God within you. That little intuition that tells you those good things that you should do. Hey, maybe I should clean my home. Maybe I should call so-and-so and just make sure they're okay. Those little nudges of love. But then you get the other nudges, and it's up to you to choose. I know there's a lot of talk about New Age versus Christianity or whatever other religion you want to say. I can tell you from my own experience that part of my healing, I was led to understand about chakras. And the reason why is because I was so dark. I was at the lowest of points in my life, and it's because I was unbalanced. Whether that was being able to express myself I would ramble trying to have someone hear me. And then because my mind was going so fast, I just had all these emotions that, again, you don't even understand the emotions that are going through you. You're not clear. You're not clear-minded. You don't have any understanding about your body, your emotions, your chakras. You know about where they're rooted, but you don't know how to heal. And it's not just therapy. It's not just exercise. It is your energy system. It is everything that once all three, mind, body, and soul, are in alignment, once you're choosing love, which is the self-love theory. And self-love, again, is not just the outer. It has to do with your inner love of yourself, to cleanse the inside of you. Because everything outside of you, you can do a false positive and you can be genuine in wanting to be positive, but the intention may not always be positive. Your intention might be conditional love. Well, I expect them to do this. I've done all this and do that, this and that. And unconsciously, even though you did it without wanting something done in return, unconsciously, you're like, at one point, one day, when they do something that hurts you, you'll be like, after everything I did, now you're going to do this, you know? But if you're in alignment, if you're balanced within emotionally, all these things, then you know they never have to return it. They never have to return that love. Even if 10 months later they do something, you say, and after all I did this, you won't say it anymore. That won't even come to mind. You'll be like, you know what? Hey, that's where they're at right now. That's not a reflection upon me. I'm grateful for the things I've been able to do for them, to support them. And I understand that they're still not yet ready. And that might be the time when you're like, okay, with that recognition of them not ready, even though we know we've extended XYZ to them to aid them, and they're still, repeating their cycles, that's just where they're at right now. And, you can continue to extend that. Maybe you can limit that. Or maybe you can say, you know what, for right now, I notice that this is something that I'm enabling in you if I continue to do this. So I am always going to be here for you, but maybe in this manner, I'm not. Because I need you to be your own hero right now. Obviously, you're not saying that to them, but it's these things that you recognize within that instead of taking it personally and hurt as if they did this to you, you will recognize, you know what, they're just something within them they still need to address. And it's not a weight that you should bear. I've aided them, I've walked them through it, and I'm going to still be there. But maybe this XYZ factor was not helping them, even though I've continually gave it. Now maybe there's a different way I can give through just being there and supportive. I don't know. You may still continue to give to them in that way and just continue to pray that with your aid and assistance that they're not struggling. Yay. But God, there is something deeper within them that they have yet to heal, and send a prayer that be healed within them. That God works with that person and helps heal them. Sending positive energy is basically what that is. There's just some things you can't fight for another person. You actually, truly, you can't fight for anybody. You can only take care of yourself. But the old motto was to fight for somebody, But there's also, we know that there's only so much we can do, that saying, right? Until they have to do for themselves. The truth is we always have to do for ourselves. But thank goodness we have support of one another. It's just we, unfortunately, took on more than we should bear with that other person's problem instead of allowing them to fix it. So I will tell you, in my own personal experiences, I'm so grateful for the times people have reached out and gave me their support. Unfortunately, there were times when they carried more than they should bear. But eventually, when it kept happening, I kept saying, you know what, I don't want to rely on them anymore. I recognize where I'm leaning too hard on individuals. And, what is that a reflection upon with me? Where am I the common denominator? Why does this keep happening? It's these questions that just kept coming up, asking me to look at me and take responsibility. And that's what eventually people's choices ask them to do. And if you look back at your own life, these questions have come to you. You have questioned, what? Why is this happening to me? Now, there's a difference at some point where you transition from a victim asking, why is this happening to me, to the point where, you're empowered and you're like, no, truly, why is this happening to me? And then you really look at it. It's not just a woe is me. Why is this happening to me? And then you're ending it, and then you're continually blame and going the sorrow cycle. But eventually it's the empowered. No, why is this happening? I really need to look at this. I've had this with XYZ in these areas of life, and I've always walked away with feeling XYZ in the end, and it's always impacted XYZ of people and environments and situations in my life, and I don't want that anymore. And then that's when, boom, all of a sudden, yeah, I might still need assistance, but guess what, guys? I can come to you now and tell you, I notice this within me. These are the cycles that's happening within me. I'm going to do everything that I can do within my power right now. But thank you for being your support that you've always been. Thank you for being who you have been in my life to get me to the point where I can mature and grow up and ask these questions. And I might stumble and I might fall. And I thank you very much for still being here, And from there, you build your strength because you were weak, okay? And another person's strength will help you build you up, And then guess what? As you are building up and you become stronger and you're healing and you're tearing out the weeds and shining light upon your darkness inside you, you know what I'm saying? And clearing out away the victim stuff and bringing in more empowered stuff within you, you're getting stronger. And then you can look at those people in your life, from family to friends to coworkers, and all these things, and see, one, what a blessing they were in your life. Even the people that may have not did you service from childhood and up, they actually did perform a service, because even though we would not have wanted that to happen, I grew stronger from this. And what I've noticed is that it's through our pains that actually inspire us to aid another. Through a comedian's pain, they find laughter so they can help others laugh. Through an actor, they can pull the emotion forth from them so that we can feel that emotion while we're watching that movie and really relate to that character. Through a song, they can pull you in and be like, yes, girl, oh my gosh, girl, I know, that happened to me, Or, I'm a survivor, you know what I'm saying? And you can build that all of a sudden is helping you, but like, yes, and you can get through a workout, or you can get through whatever challenge you have, because guess what? That person, that song, whatever they went through, they were able to funnel that to help someone else. A piece of artwork, a food. We all know heart and soul goes into food, right? You're giving your all, and when you taste that food, someone made it with love, right? There's a difference when someone put it all up in there versus someone who didn't feel like it, and you could taste it, you can feel that, your energy, the things that you've went through in life is spoken through your energy, the energy of your voice, the energy of your passion. That's what keeps us persevering and holding one another up without us even knowing how we're holding one another up. Our pain is transformed into light and helps one another in some way, somehow. Even if you were not a singer, an artist, or an amazing cook, maybe the only thing you could do is some canned spaghetti. It doesn't matter. You might meet somebody on the street one day who is at their lowest point, and you just happen to be there when they need you most. And you can shed light on their pain because you were once there. There's that saying that God always takes what was meant for evil and transforms it into something good. I will tell you that, again, for me, I didn't understand it because, one, I didn't I didn't go to church. I didn't read the Bible, especially not consistently to the point where it meant something. But these Bible stories are not just there as a story. It's just kind of your instructional manual. It's to show you how your path in life is going to relate to one another. It's to say how you're going to impact someone. It's talking about the challenges that you face, but also the triumphs that will occur in your life. It's talking about your faith and perseverance and the difference between choosing right or wrong, choosing to be in your light or your dark, what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat, who you should be around, the battles that you will face. You can be up against 10,000, and again, or a giant. And that doesn't mean that you're figuratively in front of a giant. It doesn't mean that you're figuratively in front of 10,000 people. But the strength and power of the emotions of what you're facing, of the wall that you have to overcome, or the mountain you have to move. All these biblical terms is one, having faith, yes, in God. For remember, God is within you. So ultimately that means having faith in you. That you are stronger than 10,000 people. You are stronger than a giant. And you are strong enough to move a mountain. That you are strong enough and have a strong enough will that I'm going to move up this mountain. That I'm going to barrel past these 10,000 people. That I'm going to take this giant down with one stone. You're making what felt impossible to overcome from the lowest that you feel. Whether that is from drugs and having to come out of an addiction, whether that's trauma, PTSD, depression, CPTSD, anxiety, fear, you shall overcome. Trust and believe we will love someone to come in and sweep it all away, clear a path for us, but it always requires you to do the work first. You have the authority, you have the strength and the will of God within you. No matter how strong the emotions are, no matter how strong the temptations come, you are strong and you can overcome. And maybe this day I relapsed. Maybe this way I fell backwards. Maybe this way I pushed pause and I didn't know which direction to go. It's okay. This is your challenge. This is your battle. A battle for land, a battle for your freedom, a battle for love, a battle to breathe, a battle to see the sun. Whatever you're facing, you can overcome. One step at a time, adding more and more tools to your belt to break down the walls of Jericho. These things that were in the Bible was to help inspire you. Again, think about the era and the time. It was worded a little bit different. They used a lot of different ways to express and to explain. It doesn't even matter if you look at the Bible. Every single book that is religious based is helping you stay in alignment in some way with choosing something higher within you to make a right choice. And if you don't, then it shows those consequences. And if you do, it shows those consequences. You're to persevere and you're to overcome. And if you fall down, it's okay to brush off and get back up. It's okay to climb on your knees. It's okay to crawl. Just keep moving. It's okay to push pause. It's okay to catch your breath. It's okay to stop and think of a new way that maybe you can go around this situation. And as you get stronger, as you see what you can do, you can move mountains. Once you crumble the little mountains, once you knock down maybe a few hundred people, eventually those 10,000 don't seem so big. You know, once you tackle that one giant, let all the other giants come. The songs, the food that is plated before you, the painting that you're looking at, the song that is expressed, and the actor that creates a character for you to see. All the way to the Bible, it's all telling a story on how you may overcome and the challenges that you may face. The heartache and having to create the plate by taking one ingredient at a time to present it to you in its completion, in its beauty, for you to enjoy, for it to ignite your own passions, for you to know you're not alone, and to show you that you can overcome. I may have been a person who only knew how to cook out of a can. But this person, they didn't always know how to cook either. But they took the time to buy the ingredients and maybe even looking up recipes, or maybe just tapping in and knowing what I like and going with it. And you don't know how many times it took them to prepare this meal to get it to you perfectly, but they love cooking. And they weren't going to give up just because the first 10 times they made the recipe was not good. They finally found the exact ingredients and measurements to be able to serve that to you now with love. And it's served with love because it was a process to get to where it was now. That song was a process that that person had to go through in order to create it, for it to reach thousands. For the actor to pull out from within whatever laughter or whatever sadness that they've experienced, to evoke that experience within you. The tears that were cried, that they're willing to share with you, the depths of the lessons learned, and the perseverance to get them to where they are now. I say you're your own hero, and I say that because you really are. There's going to be things that you're going to go through, and that may be, at the time, very challenging, but your rewards are great. They turned something that was tragic and very hard to deal with within their lives and transformed it, not only to serve themselves for healing, but to serve others for your healing. And that means that love won, that light shined bright, and now is shining down upon your darkness, so that it inspires you and continues a domino effect across many. And then once you clear your darkness, how you share your story is going to be that same light in whatever platform that you choose. And if we look at a singer or actor, let's say, a comedian or a chef, they might profit from it. But do you know what their greatest riches are? It's to have helped others. And maybe that's not the intention of everybody. But what I've found is, whether laughter is the best medicine, whether song is food for your soul, whatever it is, the riches is really shining the light and helping others. That's where your true light and your tragedy turns into the ultimate joy of overcoming, of how many more people that this may serve. And I pray for you all on this day, that whatever challenges that you come through, that you continue to shine brightly, and know that whatever storm may come, that you have the power within to overcome. And stand strong and share your story with others. Again, even if it's just someone passing on the street. We all need someone sometime, somewhere. And that's when you become someone's angel, someone's miracle, someone's blessing. You never know what someone is going through. And I pray that we're all mindful of that. Because even in your darkest of time, you might come through someone who's having even a darker time. And you, by helping them, just help lighten a little of your darkness. All right. That was my insight of the day. Today is August 14th, 2022, 7:13 a.m. with a little insight that I had that was inspired, and I just wanted to throw that out.